Daniel Foster was known as the man who built an empire from nothing. At just 33, he owned 4 luxury hotels, drove a Lamborghini Huracan, and had dinner reservations that required 2 months' notice. To the world, he was a self-made millionaire. He never knew where he came from. Raised in an orphanage, bounced from one foster home to another. He didn't know his real name. He chose Foster as a reminder, a name born from a system that raised him, but never loved him. One morning, dressed in his tailored gray suit, Daniel stepped out of his car in downtown Brooklyn. He had a charity meeting nearby. As he opened the car door, he noticed something unusual. An old woman stood on the sidewalk barefoot, wearing torn clothes, clutching a dirty canvas bag. Her eyes were cloudy, her hands shaking. But it wasn't her condition that froze him. It was her face. There was something familiar. A feeling hit him in the chest like a punch. He didn't know why. Did he know her? She turned to walk past him, quiet, humble, broken. And then he said it. Without planning, without thinking. His voice cracked as the words slipped out. "Wait, you're my mom." She stopped. The world went silent. She turned around slowly, her eyes squinting. "What did you say, son?" Daniel stepped forward. "I'm sorry. I know it sounds crazy, but I don't know why. When I looked at you, something inside me just screamed." The old woman looked confused, but her hands trembled harder now. "You got the wrong person," she said. "I don't have no children." Daniel hesitated. Do you remember giving up a child? Years ago, maybe at birth." Her lips quivered. Something flickered in her eyes. Pain, regret, or maybe recognition. "I don't talk about the past," she said and turned away. But Daniel couldn't move. His heart was pounding. He didn't want to make a scene, but he couldn't let her go. He reached into his coat pocket and pulled out a business card. "Please, take this, just in case. I want to help you. If I'm wrong, I'll never bother you again." She didn't take it at first. Then slowly, with shaking fingers, she slipped it into her sack. "What's your name?" he asked quietly. She paused. Martha Green." The name hit him like a wave. He had seen it once in a sealed file at the orphanage. Birth mother, Martha Green. His knees buckled slightly. That night, Daniel couldn't sleep. He kept replaying her face in his mind. The name, the eyes, the way her fingers twitched just like his did when he was anxious. He called a private investigator, gave them her name, her face, her location. Within 24 hours, he had results. Martha Green, born in 1960, had a son in 1992, gave him up at birth due to extreme poverty and mental health struggles. The baby was placed in foster care and later lost in the system. No known records since. No family, no stable housing. Daniel's hands trembled as he held the file. Was it really her? He had to know. He arranged for a private DNA test. The next morning, he found her near the same corner. She was sitting on a bench, feeding pigeons with old breadcrumbs. "Miss Martha, I know this is strange, but would you please let me help you?" This time, she didn't walk away. He took her to a private clinic, paid for a full checkup, DNA swabs, clothes, a warm meal. She barely spoke, but when she did, she said, "I don't know if I deserve kindness. I gave up my baby. I wasn't ready." 5 days later, the results arrived. 99.97% match. Martha Green was his biological mother. Daniel stood in silence, holding the paper. He should have felt anger, resentment, but he only felt tears fall down his cheek. She didn't abandon him out of hate. She abandoned him because life gave her no choice. He found her again, this time in a warm room he had rented for her. He showed her the paper. She stared at it for a long time, then looked up with watery eyes. "I knew, deep down. I just didn't believe I deserved to be your mother. Not after what I did." Daniel sat beside her. "You gave me life, and the chance to fight for my future. I don't hate you, I always wanted to know where I came from." She wept. Her hands covered her face. "I prayed every year, every birthday, that you were okay. I never thought I'd see you again." Daniel held her hand. "You don't have to live on the streets anymore. Let me take care of you. Not out of charity but because I finally found my mother." Weeks passed. Martha began living in Daniel's guest house. She went to therapy, took small walks, watched him work, cooked breakfast for him. It was awkward at first, but love found its way in. For the first time in years, she smiled, and he found a part of himself he never knew was missing. The media later found out about the story. Millionaire reunites with homeless mother through DNA test. Daniel declined interviews. This isn't for publicity, he told them. It's about healing. A year later, Daniel opened a shelter in Brooklyn. He named it the Greenhouse, a home for women who had nowhere else to go. And every night, Martha sat at the entrance, greeting every woman with a soft smile and a warm meal, because she knew what it felt like to be invisible. And now, she knew what it felt like to be found. Some people search for money, some for fame, but I searched for her. And in finding her, I found myself. Daniel Foster.